before the priests came, before there was a reservation, before European contact. Yeah? Let's say that our ways at that time can be represented by huge painting or a poster, okay? A huge poster. It could be a picture of anything, but it's a huge photo, okay? And when the reservation period started, we were hit physically, spiritually, and emotionally, and this caused us to become weak-minded. And then the priest came, took advantage of our situation, and said that that big painting, all the information on that big painting, is evil because it conflicts with the Bible. So we, in our weak minds, start to accept that what the priests are saying. Another thing that the government did was the American government was they cut up the reservations into small pieces of land, and they gave every family a parcel of land, and this broke up the camp circle. Yeah, now families are living apart from each other, and so we lost the community way of thinking at that point. And so now we only think of our children and our parents. The Teoshpaya concept is starting to fall apart. So we're really changing, yeah? And as you heard me say, that now today we're incredibly dualistic. Now, back to this painting. Let's say that, while we're becoming Christianized, the priests rip up that painting, and they just keep the four corners of that painting, tape them together, and then put a different picture on there. They draw a different picture on there. And then, in time, they give it back to us and say, here, this is your Indian ways. You see, that's the analogy. So what's on that little piece of paper is Christian influenced, and it's just a tiny remnant of a much bigger painting. Yeah, and this show is about that big painting. After 4, 5, 6 generations of becoming Christian and dualistic, we just believe what's on this tiny piece of paper. So when we see glimpses of the original painting, we say, oh no, that can't be true. See, that's the Christian brainwashing at work. So a lot of Lakota people, when they hear me talk about star knowledge stories, like the journey of the soul and so forth, and that what it is really reincarnation, and that there is no heaven, there is no hell, there is no God, there is no Satan, there are no angels, there are no demons. It's something different. When you hear me say that, most people are going to disagree with me because they've been brainwashed. They are so, adamant in believing this little tiny piece of paper that the priests put together from the original document. Very few Lakota people today who will consider what I have to say. And they'll say, maybe David is saying something here. Maybe there's, but I gotta think about what he's saying here. All you have to do is go back in history, within the past 100 years, even within your own family, talk to people, and you'll find out. They don't want to talk about it, so they're going to answer you in a different way. They were in boarding schools. They were beaten. Sometimes they were forced to kneel in front of the priest for 8 hours to beg for forgiveness for being an Indian if they were caught speaking their language.